Hello, today I will be explaining how to handle exceptions in Java using the try and catch method. There are two types of exceptions, checked and unchecked. Checked exceptions are errors that occur when you compile, that the Java virtual machine pick up on, and usually prevent you from compiling your code until it is fixed. An example of this would be the class not found exception. Unchecked exceptions occur when the programmer makes a mistake in their code that causes the program to not be able to work. For example, getting an array index out of bounds exception tells a programmer that they are trying to use an index on an array that doesn't exist. The purpose of exception handling is to be able to detect possible exceptions that can occur while compiling code, especially when asking for user input, and be able to run the entire code even if there are exceptions occurring. The try block is used to test the outputs of various methods that you believe can throw an exception. A catch block can automatically detect when an exception has occurred, and rather than stopping the program completely, you can continue to run the program, but also alert the user or be able to see if something you wrote produces an exception. So I created a method named setName, which returns a string if the program runs without an exception. The method takes in two parameters, a string for a name and a number. The number passed should be equal to the length of the string passed, and if it isn't, an exception occurs. Hence, this that says the method can throw an exception. We can write this as an if statement that states if my string.length is not equal to my num, then throw an exception. Once an exception is thrown, the program will send a string up to the catch block and can attempt to fix or alert the user that the number they had passed is incorrect. For this example, we just print out a statement saying that the string length doesn't match the number given as an int. In order to test what happens if an exception occurs, we use the try block. Simply put the code you believe can cause an exception and test what happens. The first calling of the method will not cause an exception, since Christine is a total of 9 letters and that's the int passed. Therefore, the output will be Christine. The second calling of the method will cause an exception since Christine is 9 letters, but we passed an int of 10. If we compile and run, we see first method will print out Christine, and the second one will print out exception that we listed right here. String length does not match number given. And here we see another type of block, which is called the finally block. No matter if a method will give an exception, the finally block will always run. Hence, the statement, this block runs no matter the outcome. So if there is an exception, this will run right after that. If there's no exception, this will still run after the method's called.